Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and hope everyone is doing well. Today, Masa is proud to present the 14th Malaysian Architecture Education Online Lecture Series. This is our 14th lecture so far, and thank you for joining us. So Masa stands for Malaysia Architecture Student Alliance and is a non-profit student committee acting directly under PEN, which is the Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, consisting of students represented from all architecture institutes in Malaysia. During the time of MCO, Masa and PEN have decided to launch this online lecture series for students to be more productive and gain more insight. Architect Agenda is the head of PEN Education and Dr. 𝐂𝐧 is the convener. There will be more series coming up after this one, so to keep in touch with Masa Instagram and Facebook page. My name is Jason, a Masa representative from UCSI University, and I will be your MC for today. I would like to welcome our guest speaker for today, Architect Rien Tan. He is currently a full-time practicing architect and a part-time lecturer. Architect Rien graduated with a first-class honor from UCSI University with a bachelor degree in architecture, and later further his master in architecture at University Technology Malaysia in the year 2013 and 2015 respectively. Upon graduating, he had the opportunity to travel abroad to Osaka, Taipei, and New York, where he's worked with architectural firms to explore further on the design challenge of future residential and office space. In the year 2016, he emerged as the champion for the Asia Young Design Award, winning ahead of 11 participants from around Asia. Another milestone was set in the year 2019 when he won in an international design competition on tropical housing for Orang Asli, where the design was eventually built as the show unit for the annual Colombo Architecture Festival. Recently, he had another achievement under his belt by emerging as the top 5 winner of Asia Dream House for Pandemic Situation Design Competition. At a young age of 28, Architect Rien successfully obtained his Part 3, and in the year 2020, he had found AR Plus Atelier, which is an architectural Part 3 study group that provide revision and sharing sessions to graduate architects and students. So sit back and relax, everyone. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the talk. If you have any question, feel free to type them down in the chat box. We will attend them at the end of the sharing. So let's welcome Architect Rien Tan. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is have their lunch already. So first of all, I would like to thank Pam and Masa for giving us such an opportunity to share my experience and talk on the journey of me becoming an architect. And I would like to start with this first slide because I remember when I was a kid, I was given a topic to draw my dream house. And I always start with this small rectangular house with a gable roof, 2 square windows at the east side and the door at the middle. Not to forget, we always draw tree and sun at the side. So what about you? Do you still remember your dream house back in the age of 5 or 7 or 9? Architecture is a long journey in Malaysia. After you graduate from Form 5, SPM or O-level, all the way to the day where you obtain Part 3 architecture license. Having the abbreviation of AR in front of your name, I believe everyone here should have a basic understanding on how are we going to get Part 3 all the way from Part 1. So any one of you here know what is the number in the screen trying to represent of? Okay, so this number is a minimum number of 4,730,000 of minutes that you need to commit to this architectural journey for you to obtain this Part 3 architecture license. Architecture journey take approximately 4 years to get your Part 1, and then you need to get like 1 month or 1 year minimum to be able to be an assistant architect for you to actually graduate and move on to part 2 architect. And then you need another 2 years of working experience to take your part 3 exam. So what I'm telling you here is we need 4 years plus 1 year of working experience, 2 years of study master in architecture, and another 2 years. Total 9 years of study and work. By the age of 19, where you graduate from SPM, and then another 9 years of you taking part 1 and part 2 or part 2, the earliest that, or you are lucky enough, you can get part 2 is 28 years old. So imagine, according to this statistic in 2020, which is by LAM and also by the ministry, that we have 32 million of population in Malaysia, and only 2,000 is architect. But when you graduate from LAM, like suddenly you obtain your part 3 license already, and you go out to the market, to the society, like what I'm trying to do, okay? Everyone out there, especially your potential client, they will ask you, what makes you different from other architects, other designers? So the point here I'm trying to explain is, what is the thing that actually make you special and what make you different from others? Is it your strength in design? Is it your strength in skill or networking or experience? Now, if you don't have, or you think you have room to improve, where or how should you get to it? We look into a time in a year period where you are studying architecture now. Assuming 1 year, you only have 2 semesters. So 1 semester, you have 19 weeks. Everyone here having the same time, like you, who are the architecture student. What we'll do is design studio, assignment, exam, etc. So what really makes you different is the time that you actually spend outside the semester, which is the long semester break. And this long semester break is approximately 3 months, and this 3 months will be your game-changing point. They actually make you different from others. They actually help you to be a better person in future. So if you ask me what can you do and what did I do, here is my sharing sessions beginning. And here is how I'm going to expand on the experiencing architecture all about. You may think you want to join design competition, you want to join NGO, you want to do internship, you want to work. You can also do traveling, and you also do nothing. It's all depend on you. But what about me? Back in the school time, I used the semester break to team up with my friend to join various design competition. We want to know our limit and we want to know where do we stand outside the school. We want to challenge ourselves, and so we joined a few design competition, and this is one of it. This design competition is teamed with living capsule. We introduced this living capsule design, which called Sephora. It's a living capsule that comes with desalination center. We designed this conceptual design to attempt to address the water issue in future. Through our research, we found out that future in around 2050, the world might have water crisis issue, particularly in South Africa and India, and also Cambodia. Hence, in order to solve this issue, we introduced Sephora, a living capsule that actually acts as a desalination center that can convert seawater to fresh and consumable water. This design doesn't only provide a living shelter for the people, but they also help to harvest the salt and also convert the seawater to fresh water. So we think this idea is supposed to be very advancing and interesting back in our school time. We designed the platform to be elevated, to be sunken, so that they can have multi-purpose usage within this shelter. In this shelter, we actually designed in such a way that there is some advanced technology that is affordable in future, which is 2050. We adopt the design where there is desalination system performed as a diagram where you can see on the right hand side, they're trying to desalinate the seawater to fresh water, which then help to solve this water crisis issue. And in different stages, the water can actually crystallize, become salt, since we are living at the seaside. And this salt will eventually harvested by the people of the locals, and they can sell it as a side income as part of their job. We did a skill model on this, and then we tried to demonstrate the design of it from 2015 all the way to 2017. How can this living capsule 𝐂𝐶 can develop to become a community in future? We think this design is very good, and we wanted to know how can we improve further. So what is the result of the competition? Yes, we didn't win and we lost, and we felt that we are very demotivating at such a time because we spend a lot of effort on time on this design. But now when I think about it, other people, other participants, they also spend the same effort. So what actually justifies you to be a winner? We don't stop our way even though we lose. Just like you, whoever doing design right now, you might face the issue where your lecturer asks you to redo, your field certain subject. But this shouldn't be an issue, or this shouldn't be a statement for you to stop learning and improve yourself. We shouldn't just give up. So like me, even though we lose all this competition, but we continue to join the design challenge or competition. We want to sharpen our design skill and knowledge. We try everything we could. We try to learn new software. Back in the school time, until now, we still join competition and we want to know how can we improve. In this current temporary shelter design, we joined and we still lose, we failed it. The second time we joined this disaster relief temporary shelter, we try to explore the software of Rhino. We want to know how can we improve ourselves, or what is the design concept that we have. Again, we still lost. We didn't manage to win the first prize or the top 3 prize. And then we still don't give up. I still want to challenge myself. I really want to know what is my design direction in future. So back then I joined this young designer work, and again the result is not pleasing. I understand that a lot of students nowadays they might not be interested in design competition, or some of them they do interested. They join the competition but they didn't win. So what am I telling you right here is, winning is just a process. You learn more from losing than winning, because from here you actually learn how to keep going. I start to realize losing is part of the journey, because when you look at the famous design and architecture out there, you will never notice and find out the project that they lose. I believe the architect or the designer out there, they won't share you the project that they lose. Most of the time, we as an architecture student back then, or even me as an architecture designer now, we only realize how people win, but we haven't really seen the process behind them. What is the thing that made them lose, or what is the thing that is behind them and inspire them to move further and move forward? So I believe here is the point where you start to experience architecture. When we talk about experience architecture, I believe everyone will think about, travel to overseas and things like that. Particularly during this MCO, why don't we start from local, Malaysia itself? I'm considered very lucky because when I'm studying in local year and private year, I have the chance to join to different parts of Malaysia and join different communities. I was introduced and involved in this community project called Knowing Your Neighborhood. That was my first time staying in traditional Malay house in Pulang. And I am really lucky to have the chance to understand what Malaysia traditional architecture is all about. And the most important thing that affect me until now is the thing that I get to engage with the community. Until now, I still remember that the day that I actually spent with the kakak and the nenek, the food they cook, and the way that they live. My second long semester back then, I actually joined this fantastic group of people who are my senior and classmates, lecturer and also international artists. We also mix around with the locals of our Selangor. We try to do this international art festival. We spent 3 to 4 weeks to complete this art installation by using recycled glass bottles, block wall, as you can see from photo, fishing net, all the material that you can find on the site. It's just to do an art installation to inspire the people of the locals, and at the same time we also get inspired by them. We want to promote the living lifestyle of and the ecotourism of this particular area. During semester break, I also find out that community project is one part of it. We should also join more event or activity to explore ourselves. So we join this architectural workshop, which organized once a year by all the public university or private university. Apart from this activity, we actually help to gain the exposure and different insight for our future career. Because from all this activity, you can do more hands-on project. Compared to the thing that you do in school, doing in school, you might have some hands-on activity, but the feeling and the atmosphere is different. The thing that we learn in outside during semester break, during this community project, is different from the school. Experiencing architecture is not only about the traveling process, but it's also about knowing more about the land that we're stepping on now, which is Malaysia, the country that we belong to. I understand that a lot of people nowadays, they will travel overseas, and I understand everyone can fly. Maybe not during this pandemic situation, but I believe after this period, we are slowly getting back to the track, traveling around the country to get experience and experiencing architecture. I would say I was lucky enough to be able to join to this Tokyo study trip to Osaka University to have academic cultural exchange with the locals and the students there. During my master semester break, I also took the chance to go abroad to apply for internship in Taiwan. I spent 3 months working in Taipei, and I spent the last 2 weeks to travel around the Taiwan. After I graduate, I still don't want to stop myself. I really want to know what is my future journey of architecture background and architecture career. I really want to know what is my direction. So I applied to work in New York, and I was lucky enough to be gotten this job. But I only spent 5 months in New York and working as this design architect. When I was all over in overseas, when you go further and away from home, you will start to get this kind of question where they will ask you, where are you from? You know, what is special about your hometown? And every time when I answer, I start to feel the answer that I reply, right, is repeating. And sometimes I really don't understand, and I found out I don't really know what is my hometown about. I came from a small fishing village called 𝐂𝐻𝐧 that located at the southern west part of Johor. And this is the place that I grew up from and inspired me to move forward. My family, you know, the sunset near the sea, the food, the place, all the memory grew me to become who I am today. During the year 2015, when I'm still studying the last semester of my master, I keep asking myself, after traveling all the places and, you know, joining all the community projects, everyone, the locals, you know, they inspired me, and I really asking this question to myself: what can you do as an architecture student? Even to all of you who are listening to my talk now, what can you do as an architecture student? What changes can you make? So I carry out this research and questionnaire to understand the issue of my hometown culture and what is the local need. I'm lucky to have this chance to work this as my master thesis, which called Eco-Learning Market Center. I come up with this design with the concept of evolving nature. This Eco-Learning Market Center is an alternative typology of community development. It provides users to explore and learn. At the same time, it allows them to shop and work at this particular place. This site is located at the riverside, facing the riverfront, with fishing village where you can see on the field house around it. Places where you can have river, you know, fishing boat, and you can see sunset. Such an amazing area, but none of you who really stay in Malaysia, you know this place, right? That's why I come up with this design. Evolving nature is my concept. I come up with this concept of evolving nature, of building a community by the community. I intend to have this design to blend into the nature by creating intensity of figure ground through various green areas and solid void. For this design, it's intended for the locals, so the design is actually also by the people. We gather the information from the locals from the design from the fragmented open space into the latent space of each particular area. The design listen to the land by responding the land profile, having it at the river side and then facing to the west where you can have the sunset area. And we're trying to reflect the history of the site where I want to let all the people know this fishing village is the place where it originates from. So in future, when people come here, they will notice and realize this is a fishing village. That's why I created this hierarchy space where you can see in the next slide. Eco-Learning Market Center is my master thesis design, and I used this design to join 𝐂𝐱𝐩𝐿 Designer Award back to 2015. We designed this space like a community space with passive design strategy, where the locals can actually approach this community to achieve their needs. The elderly can come this kopitiam to yam cha, and then the elderly, the adult can come here and buy the stuff. The youth can come here to enjoy the sunset, to spend their free time running around, exploring the environment. And this hierarchy space is what I call a hard space structure, where I actually design from the interpretation of the fishing net. That is a traditional fishing sculpture that the fishermen of Phoneng culture using. I create this space as an interaction platform for the multi-generation living, for the locals who need here. This space, this structure has double volume, where the first volume of space actually allows the user to view towards the side. So you can have the journey and the view of inside and outside. We're trying to blend the nature into the building, and the building can actually blend to the nature, where you can see the mangrove swamp, the river front, and the fishing village itself. The entire design will adopt ecological water cycle, sustainable design, where you can recycle the water, the grey water harvesting system, all this system into one building, so that the entire design is sustainable. The indoor environment at the same time will allow passive ventilation for this design. And after all, on the higher floor, we have a market space. On the ground floor is a learning space where they can actually come here and learn about aquaculture and permaculture and things like that. So this space become a hard space structure where I actually intend to promote sustainable living back into my community in Phoneng culture. I was really lucky enough because this project helped me to win the 𝐂𝐱𝐩𝐿 Designer Award back in 2016. Throughout the entire process of the 9-year journey, it took us so many times, failure and success. And I start to realize that architecture is not only about design, it's also about people, community, and what really matters is the amount of time that you spend on different things. What really makes you different from others is the experience that you gain along the way. You can join competition, you can go travel around, you can also internship or work. You can also do community project or volunteer work or any other freelance that is not related to architecture. But after all this, right, this is the thing that actually shaped you to become who you are today. So the thing that I wanted to share to every one of you here, particularly for the students here, is don't waste your time and don't think that the time that you do on certain thing is waste of your effort. Because I believe until now, which I'm sitting here now, I believe all the things that you do, eventually it will come into one path that help you to shape who you are today. Today, I'm at the age of 29, and I'm really happy and proud to say that I have never regretted on the path that I chose. I was inspired by the people around me. I was really aspired to be the same. I want to inspire people and push myself to the limit. I was really happy that I'm able to set out my own study group, which is called AR Plus, to provide a platform for all young designers and architects to inspire them to come together and push themselves better, even become a platform for everyone to communicate, to actually help to form a better Malaysia architectural industry in future. Along your architectural study, you may find out that your friend or even you yourself might drop out from this industry. I do have a friend who study until master level. They stop studying architecture, but this doesn't matter because what really matters for you in future is your passion. Find your passion and enjoy the process. It's never too late to start. That's all for my sharing today. Thanks, everyone.
Jason, Mike.
Okay, thank you so much, Architect Ryan. I hope everyone enjoy it and gain many insight. Do everyone have question regarding this sharing session? I think give them a while to think about the question. Architect Ryan, do you have any other experience to share with us regarding your competition?
Maybe I can share about like the experience to join because I believe I have a few junior and students that actually ask me on the experience of joining competition. I believe a lot of architect or designer out there, when they share their journey, right? Most of them, and actually I also think about for my sharing session, do I just share my winning design or just losing design? I found out that a lot of people, they only see the bright side of you. They don't really want to know what is behind of this winning process. What I'm trying to share here is I want to inspire or want to motivate everyone here. Losing is just part of the journey. You might lose this time, but the next time maybe you will win. So you should gain this experience through joining different activities. Like one of the design competition that I joined, which is this Kuala Lumpur temporary shelter. We thought this design is quite interesting, but when the result come out, we actually failed. And we look into the winning design. We want to know what is the strength and what is the weakness of our design. And we found out that the thought and the design is there, but what we lack of is the design intention for the people. Whenever you do design, you have to think of the user, the end user. Who are you designed for? And you really have to imagine you are the user. Most of the time when we are the architect or we are the designer, we tend to design for the thing that we want. You know, I want to have this kind of hierarchy structure. I want to have this fantastic facade. And at the end of the day, when you present to your lecturer or your client in future, maybe they won't get it because at the end of the day, what important is the space that you created for the user, not the space that you want to wow the listener or the lecturer. So this is what I learned. That's why back in my school time, I tried to join a lot of community projects. I really want to explore and I want to listen to the voice of the locals. I want to know what they say. Because if you realize, I believe everyone here is architecture background. If you realize that people surround you is all architecture background, you are very hardly to find a time to mix around with people who are not design architecture background. Most of the time you study in degree, most of the time the semester is different, you know, you need to rush your assignment, your design studio. The timing to fix with other course of students is different. So you tend to mix with people they are same background. That's why when you do design for people or for the layman who don't really know what is architecture about, then you will tend to lose focus. That's why I found out community project, NGO project, or even project that is reaching out to the locals really help a lot for your future, particularly now. So for those who are doing thesis now, I think it's very important you really carry out field study or questionnaire to know what they really want.
Okay, so thank you very much for your sharing. We got some questions from the audience. So the first question is from Vinci. and she is from UCSI University. So she is asking, your project are beautiful presented. May I know what software did you use to render your design works?
Hi, my junior. The software we use is SketchUp, Lumion, and Photoshop. So most of the time, I actually spend a lot of effort doing Photoshop, doing all this site mapping, presentation board. But one of the things that I learned throughout the competition or the journey, because I get my factory already, but along the way I joined a lot of competition, and most of the time I found out that presentation is only one of the points. What important is your concept. I actually found out SketchUp, sketch presentation do help you. So presentation is not everything. You must make sure your concept works well first. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answering. And we have another question from Rojin Lee. He's asking, is it a kind of stress that 28 years old get an AR, while others will give you pressure?
Getting an AR is not a pressure. I have a few friends that get their AR like at the age of 30 ends or 40 ends. AR is just a milestone for you. Not everyone will have this end, It's your own determination and commitment. Like I mentioned just now, I have friends who maybe study degree already, then they drop out, they don't want to study part 2 anymore. I have friends who study part 2 already, finish their master, and they realize architecture is not what they want. So they stop, they change the entire journey. They change to become marketing people and then property agent. So what I'm trying to share here is you have to find your own passion. Passion is the only thing that I know can keep you go forward, and that can actually help you to overcome all the obstacles. I would really say getting a part 3 is really stressful when you study. You need to commit minimum 1 full year to study all the bylaw, all the contract, all the act. But the thing that keep me moving is actually the passion in architecture industry. I really want to do something, and the people around me also inspire me. So that's why I come up with this AR Plus study group to join, to combine all these positive people to have this motivation. Just like you back in the study time, everyone study together, have the same goal.
Okay, thank you for the answering. We have another question from Sarah Sheila Skiran. Hi, AR Rien Tan. I'm Sarah from VUW. Thank you for the presentation. That's some really beautiful and meaningful project that you have created. Could you please also share about your internship experience?
Okay, so because I already now getting my factory, so back then I actually interned at 4 different companies. Okay, my first time intern was first year where I didn't get any pay. Okay, I just want to learn something. I don't want to waste my semester break, because back then I think travel is a burden for me. So rather than traveling, I used the short semester to go and intern in a firm in KL. The second time internship was also in KL with a minimum wages. When we intern in an architecture firm, right, what we learn is all the practical knowledge. We learn how to do construction drawing. We learn the technical knowledge, how the building going to get built, the details of it, how the joint between RC and steel, all this. This is the thing that we learn. So after all this, I realized we as an architect, right, it's a lifelong career. If you really want to settle down in Malaysia to open your own firm in future, or you want to settle down in particular firm to contribute for future, or your boss, you might end up just stuck in at that particular place. That's why if you have the chance, because I believe all the students here have the chance to go travel, or if you have an issue on financial problem, you should take this opportunity, this long semester, to apply internship in overseas. Like what I did, I applied to Taiwan and US. So my experience in Taiwan really changed me a lot, because I have a cultural shock where in Taiwan, the way that they work is different. You know, everything that they write, the spec, the specification, the drawing they wrote in Chinese. Luckily, I can read, but I cannot type because they are using different Chinese. They are not using the typing in, they're using the other way. And then the way they approach client and the way they design, also another cultural shock for me because the site at Taiwan is very different. The weather they have to address is different. So from here, we actually learn how building can correspond to the weather and how building can actually correspond to the site. So I believe every encounter in your life, particularly in overseas, and this will actually help you to shape your architectural style in future.
Okay, I think that's all for the question. And once again, thank you very much, Architect Ryan, and thank you all for joining us today online lecture. We hope you enjoy it. To keep in touch with our MASA Instagram and Facebook for the upcoming events. Until then, have a nice day and see you on the next event. Goodbye.
Bye.